be a second. There's the flash, and he manages to make his way out of there. That's huge, but Major is gonna finish him off with the molly 1-for-1. As Major, he follows up the molly, gets the headshot onto Bird from Sky. NATO on the rotation, but he's completely smoked off. Can't see a single thing, and the bomb will go down. But oh my goodness, NATO Sapphix going on top of the side for the second pass. NATO continues, slaps him in the third. What is that from NATO Sapphix? And now it's only left to Major, going to push towards middle, but relax, he is ready for it. And oh my goodness gracious, wasn't that just a game changer here from NATO Sapphix? What a play with the AWP. Just the confidence in this play. Look at that. Goes for the first through the smoke. Goes for the second, misses it. Goes for a third and just goes for a fourth. The confidence that NATO Sapphix has in this situation is just scary. It's just scary, the confidence to have to go for the repeat so many times. That's 4 times that you go for the repeat from the same position with the AWP. And he's just sure, I'm faster than them, I'm gonna take him down. That was absolutely phenomenal from NATO Sapphix. As Sangal, still, they have money to rebuy, but to what avail? Grenades aren't looking as good as they might want them to. Again, a slower round. Sangal not keen on fast rushes and fast executes, which of course gives them the opportunity to try and bait out the utility from Lyngby. But this time there's the stack, three players towards that B side from Lyngby and Sangal. This is their destination that could backfire massively as Fasher. He takes a ton amount of damage here from Mimmer as he will fall. NATO here with the AWP. Unfortunate timing though, NATO getting the molly out. Pass will take him down. Rouse with one, but Major on the instant refract. Now Relax needs to go huge here through the smoke. They're not ready. Relax pushes, gets the double kill. Bird from Sky with double as well, and somehow they managed to win this one as well. That is so messy. Lyngby Vikings, no idea how they win rounds like that. Look at that from Relax. Just going out of the smoke. Bird from Sky in the meantime pushing through the smoke in City, and somehow Lyngby, they win yet another clutch like that, and they even managed to deny the plant from Sangal, which of course means that the Turkish side will have to go for the half buy. Logic so far having a bit of a bad time on Vertigo, 0-0 and 4, yet to find his first frag, but we could say the same for Fasher. Both teams still having players that are struggling here, but fortunately enough for both, they have Major on the side of Sangal, and of course NATO Sapphix and Relax on the side of Lyngby too. Kinda help make the difference. Lyngby going in the lead for the first time. Of course, after winning the pistol. And after Sangal won 3 in a row, now it's Lyngby's turn. Let's see if they can make it 4. Just a partial investment coming in from the T's. Pistols, armor, grenades, but that could be a pretty deadly one. To be fair, Pass just running his way through heaven. NATO Sapphix to take him down. Fasher to follow up with the MP9. Fasher running out of ammo. It gets really messy here, but will eventually take down the second as NATO and Ross will help them out. That's gonna be 5 on the board for Lyngby. As Fasher, he manages to find his first 2 kills, which of course will help him to try and build up that confidence. And these Zeke rounds are really good for just making your way into the game. If you're too slow to start, getting maybe a quick double, triple on the eco just helps you get that extra confidence boost, which of course might transfer to buy rounds. And Sangal yet again on the AKs, and this time we're gonna see the fast round play, something that we didn't see in the first rounds. But let's see, Bird from Sky just pushing towards him, gets the first, not quite a second, as in the end kills going left, right and center. The D's with 2-man advantage after Immor takes down Relax, and now NATO Sapphix in the 1 versus 3. HP not looking great for Sangal, but numbers not looking great for the side of Lyngby. NATO, he will need a pretty decent clutch. Gets down the first. That's a nice beginning. Has a molly to work with. And at this point, does he go for the save? No, he won't. He will try it. Has a smoke and 2 flashes to work with, but no defuse kit. And this might come to haunt him. Deploys the smoke. There's the flashbang. Needs to pick up a defuse kit from the ground still. And NATO, they're not giving him anything to work with, and he's just gonna fall back, go for the save. Make sure that you have that extra AWP into the upcoming one, as your entire team's money is gonna be completely screwed. NATO is gonna be the man to try and make the difference as Sangal win their fort. Five on 4 as Lyngby, they decide to go for the full up, forced by the Pistols, the AWP and NATO, but Sangal, they go for the same one as well. Again, the ramp rush, and NATO Safix is in such an awkward position in this scenario. They know where he is, but NATO playing around with the smoke, misses the initial shot, goes for the repeat. NATO Safix gets down the first, but how much more can he find? Almost landing the flick here. Still man advantage in favor of the CTs, and somehow NATO makes his way out of sandbags. But look at Major. Look at that. He's so good at capitalizing on noise being made on the other side of the map. And look at the position that he has. He can clear the entire A side on his own, and they have no idea. Oh, that's huge. Major, he can take down 3 here. Goes for the first. There's the second. Major just winning the round for his team, as Bird from Sky will take him down. But at this point, it doesn't even matter, as the bomb will go down. Man advantage, of course, in favor of Sangal, and this should pretty much be the 5th round for the Turkish side. Of course, unless Relax and Fasher have something to say in that matter, but Relax, or rather Fasher, he's just happy with taking the AWP and saving it for NATO Safix. But we can see the experience from Major, this game-changing play from him. Just knowing how focused Lyngby would be on the initial A push, making his way through middle, all the way towards CT, and they had no idea that he could be so fast on the back wrap. Five to 5 for Lyngby, finally on their way to go for the eco, as NATO, he will have the AWP in himself to try and make some impact, which of course he has been able to do so far. But let's see, Lyngby, they're really brave at this point, and we can see that they are really comfortable and they're really confident on the back of going for so many force buys, trying to play with the economy of the T's. But in the end, Sangal, they managed to shut down the winning streak of the Danes, winning their 2 in a row. Let's see if they will manage to continue. Of course, winning the T side on Vertigo isn't something that impressive. We spoke about this earlier. This is the more comfortable side for Sangal. It's the more comfortable side for a lot of teams playing Vertigo. So far, Lyngby, they've been doing a pretty decent job on the CT side, winning a lot of rounds, which is not that easy when you're the CT. Let's see, can they make it even more as they decide to go for the force buy yet again? 40 Eagles, 1 AWP. They're just trying to catch Sangal by surprise at this point. Rouse playing inside of the smoke. As Bird from Sky, he's gonna try and bait for his teammate, but in the meantime, he will go down to Immer as Rouse, he's getting spammed. He's down to 34 HP and he's in such an awkward position. A Simmer, he's gonna find him as well. 2-man advantage. NATO Safix, though, has rotated with the AWP. Somehow lands the shot on to pass. And Fasher will follow up with the headshot with the Deagle. Still the 2 versus 3. NATO Safix just looking on fire, but the refrag was on point. And Fasher, is he gonna find the shot through the smoke? Tries to go for it, doesn't connect it. Still doesn't commit to the save. He's waiting to see if Relax is gonna be able to do something from Ram, but Relax the timing was quite unfortunate for him, as at this point, this is just a red alarm for Fasher to go and save the AWP for NATO. Lyngby, they continue forcing every single time, but at this point, they're just losing the forces, and they're not even close. It's not like they're losing them in a 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2 clutch scenarios. They're just getting completely destroyed, and they're getting kills on the exit, which of course isn't that bad. They're happy with it. They're gonna even save the AK, but at what point do you just say, okay, it's enough? Just put a stop to yourself, go for the eco, and have a decent enough buy round. I think this is the point. I think this is the correct time to go for it, because you're gonna have a pretty decent half buy, even if you don't force up, and you can just have the full one into the upcoming round. That's exactly what Lyngby are going for. Sangal so far doing a pretty decent job on the T side. Of course, winning only 5 or 6 isn't enough for the entire half, but at this point, they're looking sharp, and I believe that they can win a lot more, as Rouse once again going for the aggression around the smoke. Let's see. Last time, he was just killed through it. Will he be able to connect? Oh, NATO Suffix goes for the peak, lands the first. Is he gonna spot a second here? NATO continues to aggress, falls back, now goes for the repeat. NATO Suffix aggresses even more. Sangal, they're just getting picked apart. It's now left only to Engine and Pass into the 2 versus 4. Engine making his way around the smoke, trying to find an opening, but NATO Suffix, he's being so dangerous. And this might just be the second half by a win for the side of Lyngby. Engine and Pass, though, they will find a quick double. Engine dropped to 23 HP. Still, this is savable for the side of Sangal. They might win it, but to what avail? At this point, even if they win it, they've lost 3 players to just the half by. But let's see, Relax. He's got the angle for the ace, which means, of course, that his teammates could just stack and concentrate towards that A side. Engine looking for an opening with the AK. They need an unanswered fracken. That is exactly what they get. Fasher goes down. Bird from Sky only with the USP to work with, as the bomb will go down. There's the molly though, which can do a pretty decent amount of damage. Bird from Sky goes for the spam, doesn't connect, but Relax, he is already behind it. Are they ready for it? Oh, Relax, this is so smart. He knows, finds Engine, but that's the low HP player. Pass still in the round. A pretty much winnable one for him. Of course, he needs to find the AK. He does manage to do so. Goes for the repeat, somehow stays alive. 19 HP now as Bird from Sky. He's gonna stick it. Pass. Does he have it? Yes, he does. But that was close. That was too close. Way too close for the side of Sangal, as immediately they go for the tactical timeout. Look at what that has done to their economy. Of course, being so close to the end of the half, that's not a massive problem, but still, losing 4 players to only the half by. Look at that NATO Suffix. Just lightning fast on the AWP. Doing his best to win the round, and that was the 2 versus 5 from Pass and Engine. A huge round to win for the side of Sangal, considering it was a 2v5, but looking at the buy before the start, well, it shouldn't be that close. Lyngby Vikings doing so much damage once again, only with the pistols in the AWP and NATO Suffix has been looking phenomenal. 5-7, as of course, 5 rounds on the CT side is more than enough. We said it a couple of times already. Going to the T side, Lyngby, they're gonna be feeling more comfortable as well. So I would guess that for Sangal, maybe to win 9 or 10 is just a must at this point. If they let Lyngby get one more round, it's gonna be really hard for them. But Major starting things off in the best way possible, taking down the most impactful player of the side of Lyngby, being of course the AWP holder. NATO Suffix. Bird from Sky aggressing towards Sally, picks up the AWP. That's so dangerous from him. Somehow manages to make his way out of there. Still though, man advantage for Sangal, as they will commit fully, by the looks of it, towards that A bomb site. 3 players towards Gap, as Rowski's gonna be in for a tough time here. After the smoke, Bird from Sky though, he will take down Pass. There's the re-smoke from Rouse. 1 minute on the clock, as they might even try to go back at this point. Sangal just slowing things off, waiting for some aggression to come for the CTs, but such doesn't come from the side of Lyngby, as yet again they will try and go for the execute, but Bird from Sky has the AWP on his disposal. That could be huge from him. Oh, he's not ready though. Engine catching him out of position. Rouse goes huge towards Ram with a quick double. Searching for the third, doesn't manage to find it. And now Relax in the 1 versus 2 has HP advantage over Major, but Engine is still in the round. Relax needs to find both. The smoke will help Major to make his way out of the side. And now the retake becomes a pretty difficult task as Major, he has the angle, misses the initial shot, but Engine, he's there to cover up his teammate. And that's gonna be 8 on the board for Sangal, as of course Lyngby, this is gonna be the half bike coming through, or is it Fasher going for the full force? Lyngby Vikings, they seem like they don't like going for half bikes and ecos. Surely they don't like playing these kinds of rounds, as this is maybe their 4th force buy in the half, or 5th maybe. That is just absolutely crazy from the side of Lyngby. It just shows so much confidence. It shows so much confidence to go for these kinds of plays. And look at that, NATO Sapphics just running down the ramp with the MP9, but in the meantime, look at the call from Sangal. Just going in fast towards middle, trying to capitalize on the ramp progression, but Rouse is there to deny. And now Sangal, they have nothing to work with. They don't have middle, they don't have ramp, and they don't have the B side. They need to go and try clear out B, but they might as well go for the late ramp take. NATO Sapphics though, his position is so strong. The bomb, it actually failed out. NATO finds a double somehow. Pass on the refrag, and now it's only left to pass an Immer. Oh, but look at that from Immer. This is so smart. The B side is completely open and passed. He's ready for it. He's ready for it. Gets down the first. Will he be able to find a second? No! That was such a massive moment of miscommunication, and Immer, he's gonna find the first, but his teammate falls, and that's the bomb. 45 seconds on the clock, and Relax, he's gonna find it. Lyngby, finally they make the force buy work, and they have a pretty decent chance at winning their 7th here, as the money on the side of Sangal is anything but ideal. You can see just the pistols, the only one rifle in the hands of Pass. Pistols all over the board, and that's gonna be yet again the B play. They did that in the first rounds, they're gonna go for it once again. But this time, oh look at that, Relax, he's ready, goes for the spam, dude, does a ton amount of damage somehow. The kill though, not being found. And man advantage going in the way of Sangal. Fasher though to Sorry for the technical issues that we had. We are back. Sorry for the technical issues that we had, ladies and gents. Just my microphone deciding that it wants to go off without a reason, without me doing anything. I deeply apologize. But in the meantime, Lyngby on the force buy here at Sangal. They're gonna be onto their way to build up a pretty decent CT side. On Vertigo as pass, he'll find the first NATO in the refract. Major to shut down NATO in the meantime. And the man advantage goes in favor of the CTs as Lyngby, they're gonna try and make their way back towards that B-bomb side. There's the flashes, there's the smokes, but there's the defender as well. The rotations have come through. Major takes down the first. Immer double up. And now it's only left to relax in the 1 versus 3 with the Desert Eagle. 1v2 now as he finds Engine. Oh, finds the second headshot. Relax. What is that? Picks up the AK from the ground. Still one more to go. Pass on the other side. Relax. Can he make it happen? No, he can't. That's gonna be the kill going in favor of Pass. As Sanko, they're gonna win their 10, but look at that effort from Relax. That was absolutely phenomenal. Finding the first, even finding the second headshot. Look at that with the Desert Eagle. That was such a crisp shot. Lyngby, nonetheless, on the back of killing 4 players, they decide to go for yet another force buy. Of course, killing 4 people, resetting the economy of Sangam as well, is what gives them the possibility to go for that decision. But still, only pistols to work with. A lot of grenades, but only the pistols. And can they make the difference? Logic up close with the MP9. Are they gonna be ready for him? Standing in the smoke. Logic, now he's gonna get the flash, gets the first by surprise, needs to make his way out of there. Goes for the re-aggression, Rouse to take him down, Rouse to double up on the Deagle. And what's happening with the defenses? Pass, fully blinded, gets the first, but there's the refract by Relax. Man advantage now for the side of Lyngby. As NATO, he's gonna shut down Immer. And just like that, it's only left to Engine. The 1 versus 3, this has collapsed for the side of Sankos. They have no money to work with. Engine finds the first. 2 more to go. Has a defuse kit, has smoke in. He might go for the ninja, taps it. Just for the fake, there's the spam, but they don't show anything to Engine to work with. Now he's gonna stick it, now he goes for it. There's the spam through the smoke and Bird from Sky. He's gonna deny. Lyngby went there 9. Sanko, well, they're gonna be forced to go for the full investment as well, and it's not gonna be the best full investment that they might go for, as 2 players are on 1500, which means double eco. And look at that, the full force doesn't look that good for the side of Sango. They have only the pistols, the armor, and a bit of grenades, not a single defuse kit, and the grenades not looking great as well, which means that they need to go for an aggressive play, and that's exactly what they're doing. Krausto manages to make his way out of there, but Relax will fire back with 1 Bird from Sky, spotting the players, as they didn't even manage to get the gun out of the body of Rouse. Lyngby Vikings, with maybe a round that could cement the victory here on the T side of Vertigo, if they manage to reset the economy of Sanko, which at this point doesn't look that far-fetched. They have a massive advantage considering weaponry, considering utility. But still, let's see, the pistols, they could be dangerous in close range. Now Lyngby, they're just slowing down to wait and see if there's any aggression that will come from the CTs. But Sango, just now Logic will try and aggress and clear towards ramp. Here's the molly, gets cautious, and that's gonna be the double push. Major with the first, Major with the second. Oh my goodness, Major goes for the third, but Bird from Sky is there to shut him down finally. But that was such a massive play with the Desert Eagle. Now onto the 2 versus 3 go. Bird from Sky and Relax, and there's the backstab coming in any second now. As Bird from Sky, he's gonna fake it. There's the peak. Relax takes down Logic. Pass goes for the fight. Still they're trying to take out the attention, and Engine from behind is gonna shut them down. That's gonna be 11 for Sango as they lose 4 players yet again. But look at what they've done to the economy of the Vikings. There's the aggression for Sango, knowing that there's a force, knowing that it's a weak one. Of course, still, Relax has the AK, they have the Galoo and Fasher, that could do the damage, but 2 Desert Eagles, 1 MAC-10. Of course, we just saw Sango winning pretty much, if not a worst force. Before that, Lyngby as well, winning with only pistols, so nothing is impossible. As Relax, though, he will fall with the AK, and that's a huge hit to take if you're a Lyngby Vikings that early on into the round. Your best gun is out. Man advantage, Sango. They're gonna have 3 players towards that A-bomb side, and this should be a really hard defense. Or a really hard take, rather, for the side of Lyngby, as they manage to make their way out of alley, take down the first. Fasher double up somehow, and Rouse with the headshot. And the defenses, they have collapsed now onto the 2 versus 4, made that a 2v3 now. Simmer takes down NATO Safex, but still, Immer, look at that. He's so aggressive, but they know. Surely they know. Immer goes for the fight. Now it's gonna be so hard for Sango to make this one work. There's the smoke on the bomb still. Man advantage though in favor of Lyngby, and look at that from Rouse. They'll have no idea. Fasher, he will find him, or there's the peak, and Bird from Sky shutting down Engine. These teams are just not willing to give up. They're not willing to go for an eco. They're not willing to let the enemy team reset their economy. They're fighting till their last breath, and that's gonna be yet again the force buy coming in from Sango, and yet again it's not gonna be an ideal one. Lyngby Vikings looking to finally shut down the economy of Sango. Was the Turkish side, they had 2 chances to do that. Failed in both though. Asimur goes for the peak with the scout, doesn't manage to connect the initial shots. Goes for another one. He's gonna get smoked off. Of course, Lyngby, at this point, they're just focused on not letting Sango aggress. They're just focused on holding, being able to predict what Sango are gonna go for, but the Turkish side, they're not aggressing the slightest. They're so composed. And at this point, they might as well just go for the A stack. No grenades, almost to work with. Still, 2 smokes saved up, which could help them. But to what avail? There's the full execute going towards that A side. What is that shot from Immer? Oh my god, what a way to begin with. But there's Rouse with the quick double. Immer, 1 more on his scout, and now the 2 versus 3, as you can make that a 1v3 for Logic. 15 HP left, and this should be the round for Lyngby. Finally, they managed to reset the economy of Sango, but what was that shot from Immer? That shouldn't be allowed. Look at that. Just look at that. Just goes YOLO. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my god. Look at that yet. No way. And Relax, he's on a headshot angle. You can see only his head, even if there's no smoke. How does that connect? That is just dirty. That's dirty from Immer, but unfortunately for him, it doesn't quite do the job for his team, as Lyngby, they're gonna level things up, and that's the best time that they could do that, as now is the full eco coming from the side of Sangal. Only USPs, no armor, no grenades, nothing to work with. Lyngby Vikings taking the slow approach. Again, when you know that there's pistols, when you know that the enemy team is lacking in money, they're lacking in utility, in weaponry, you just go for the slower one. Just try and clear every single angle, not to get surprised by any pistols, by any stacks, crossfires, and relax. He's gonna take out Engine as NATO. He's gonna be in for a pretty tough time here. Manages to find two. Gets messy on the third. That could have been the feast here for NATO Safix. Unfortunately for him, he goes down as they will try and save his AK in the hands of Immer. Rouse doesn't check the angle, unfortunately. For Major though, only the USP to work with as Immer. He's gonna take down Rouse. If he manages to save the AK, that's gonna be massive, but I don't think that he is gonna be allowed to do so, as Bird from Sky, he's gonna take him down. 12-11. Lyngby Vikings, only 4 more to go, as Sango go on yet another buy round. But at this point, this is the two-bladed sword of going for so many forces on the back of each other, because now, if Sango lose this one buy round, they're gonna be completely reset. If they don't save a gun, of course. But if they get completely reset, being down 13-11 potentially after losing this one, is gonna be 14-11 when they have their next buy round, and it's gonna be their second one of the half. So potentially after losing 2 buy rounds in the second half, you could lose the entire game. Of course, Immer will start things off really well, taking down Rouse as Immer. He's gonna double up. Is he gonna find a third? No, Fasher is there, but Engine on the refract, and now NATO needs to step up once again. His team needs him, and even if not to win the round, they need to do damage. At this point, Lyngby, they're just playing maximum damage. They need to take down as many players as possible, and there's the triple boost. Hopefully they make it work this time. Well, there it is. Major, is he gonna have an opener? Oh, NATO, he's not showing him anything, and this is slowing down the retake so much. There's the flash. Bird from Sky, he's actually playing from behind, and every single Sango player is from middle. Bird from Sky, that could be huge. Oh, he has such a good timing to NATO. He's gonna find the first NATO. Goes down, but Bird from Sky with such a powerful position. There's the molly going in, but they're already on the bomb. Do they have a kit? No, they have a smoke, and the round is gonna go in favor of Sango. Bird from Sky, he tried his best, but unfortunately for him, doesn't manage to stop it. Had NATO won some more time, that might have worked. In the end though, it doesn't. 3 players alive, double AWP saved for Sango, which is pretty much ideal. They will be able to rebuy M4s for the remaining players. And ladies and gents, this can't just go closer. This can't be closer here on Vertigo. As, let me remind you, this is the map pick of Lyngby, Sangal Esports, choosing Dust 2, which is going to be our second one of today. And if we need to go to a decider, of course, it's going to be Inferno. There isn't a better map to be the decider of series than Inferno. Engine going for the aggressive angle. Needs to be careful. There's 3 players from Lyngby on the other side. Now that's smoke as he makes his way back. A pretty crucial one for both teams, as both of them there on a reset potential. Of course, if Lyngby managed to plant the bomb, it might be a bit better for them, considering they lost the previous one, but still they won't have anything close to enough to get a decent buy round. And we can say the same about the CTs, but look at that. That is such a smart play, because now after clearing stairs, they can fully rotate towards that A side. And they're gonna have 4 defenders towards A once the hit comes in. And that's perfect. That is perfect. Engine on the fast rotation from middle. Let's see though, Sangal. Are they gonna read this one correctly? Are they gonna commit fully to the A defense? Pass going for the aggression. Has a one-way smoke to work with, but Relax is gonna take him down. And now the bomb could go down into the 4 versus 4 as this Molly will slow things down a bit. But there's the backstab coming in from Sangal Ascension. He'll take down NATO. Logic gets rid of Rouse now onto the 2 versus 4 are Relax and Burr from Sky. Burr from Sky here with a pretty crucial position as Major is gonna take down Relax. Now onto the 1 versus 4 goes Burr from Sky. Good for 1, but what more could he possibly do? Well, he knows that there is no chance. Goes to save his AK. Of course, the bomb plant might allow Lyngby to go for a force if they want to, but from what we've seen from Lyngby Vikings into this entire map so far, I think they will go for the force buy. There's the tactical timeout. They know that if they decide to force up here, it's a pretty big decision. It's a pretty big decision considering if they lose a force and they get completely reset, it's going to be 14-12. Yes, they will have a bigger loss bonus. That is something to have in mind, but unless you get the bomb down in a round like that, the loss bonus isn't going to help you at all. You need the bomb plant and they're going to go for a force. Or are they? Oh, I love that from them. I actually love that decision from them. This is the first time that they don't decide to go for the force in a round like that. They go for the half buy. It's still a pretty dangerous one. They can do a lot of damage. If they get the bomb down and maybe take down 2 or 3 players, perfect. Just ideal. Try and keep the economy of the CTs low. In the meantime, though, Sangal, they're going to go for a tactical timeout on their side as well, realizing that they need to try and read what Lyngby are going for. Because in this situation, if you're a Lyngby, you might go for the eco, you might go for the half buy, you might go for the full buy. You might do whatever you want. Lyngby, though, deciding to go for the half one, I really respect that decision because you're going to have a lot of util as well, because you had some money to work with previously. So it's pretty much a decent buy. You have 2 Mac 10s, you have 2 pistols, and you have the AK. You can do tons of damage. And this suggests that they might go for a fast play. They might go for a fast play, just let in the Tech 9 and the Mac 10s go in first. Relax with the AK, will try and refrag. And let's see, what do they decide to do? Sangal completely aware that this is just their round to take and they need to win a dominant one. They need to keep both AWPs. They need to have money for utility coming into the next one because it's going to be the buy round from Lyngby. And Burr from Sky going for the quick peek towards Ram. Decides to fall back. He only wanted to make some steps here just to show some presence. Now he's going to fall back in. By the looks of it, this is going to be the best split for the side of Lyngby. 2 players from stairs, 3 from middle. As they're gonna have to go through Major first. They managed to take him down. That's a good opening, but still Immer is alive with the AWP. Misses the initial shot, flashed off the angle. So far, so good for Lyngby as Rowski's gonna take down Logic. And this is just falling apart. Engine with the first. Does he find the second? Engine goes for the spray. It is so messy. Engine gets the second somehow, but Fasher will take him down. And now on to the 1 versus 3 we go. Relax. He's gonna get rid of Fast, and this is a huge round to win for Lyngby. And that's exactly what we said. When you look at it, they don't invest everything. They'll still be able to rebuy coming into the next one. But still, it's a pretty fair investment. Still, they have the pistols, they have armor, they have a lot of grenades. The AK, the 2 Mac 10s, it's pretty much a force buy. It's pretty much a force buy if you have lower money. And they still have, what, 1,500 left on almost every player. Which, of course, on the back of the loss bonus, on the back of a potential bomb plant, could allow them a full buy. And it just works out perfectly. They saved the double op on the T side, which is pretty interesting for me. But for the side of Sangal, now is the time to make decisions. Now is the time to decide. Do you go for the force buy on the back of losing half buy now? And if they do decide to go for it, it's going to be a messy one. I think that they would probably go for a partial investment here as well. And that's exactly what they go for. They realize, all right, we show that we can win rounds on the CT. We know that we could win rounds when we have the guns, when we have the util. So let's just go for the eco. Let them go for 14. We don't care. We can go for the comeback. And I love that confidence from Sangal. Fasher, though, quick to shut down the eco. Gets himself a quick, nice double, make it a triple. And Fasher, why not give him the ace at this point? He's gonna find the 4 through the smoke. And then we're now left in the 1 versus 5 as Bird from Sky is gonna make quick work out of him. 14 on the board for Lyngby. And for Sancho, now is do or die. Now they go for the buy. Pass, if he was to, he could go for a glass cannon, only for the sake of having an AWP into this one, but unfortunately, they're not gonna go for it. And, well, they have 5 M4s, but when you look at the utility, it's a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. No defuse kit, no mollies, only 2 flashes and 1 HE for smokes, which is gonna make a potential retake really hard. There's the aggression. They need a play like that. Rouse, though, he's read it perfectly, but he whiffs the shots. Immer will take him down. That's the perfect start for the side of Sangal. They needed something to work with. They needed some piece of map control, and they managed to take it by storm. Man advantage for the CTs now, and the absence of relative utility into this one doesn't make such a difference at this point because they have that extra man advantage. But look at the position from Fasher, and they have no idea. They have no idea that he's that close, and if Logic over-aggresses here, if he overcommits, he might be caught by surprise, and that's exactly what's happened. Logic taking so much damage, doesn't go down though. Sangal, they could play the retake, but it's gonna be a hard one. Let me remind you, there is no defuse kit on the side of Sangal, but Lyngby, they have no grenades to slow down the retake as well as Fasher. He's gonna find himself the first, even manages to make his way out of there. And now it gets messy. Still, they have 2 smokes. There could be a smoke deployed on the bomb, but oh, they're gonna stick it. They're gonna stick it. And Major Logic, they find 3 quick kills. There's the defuse coming in yet again. NATO Safix in the 1 versus 4. Goes for the first. That's the second. NATO Safix with the third. Oh my goodness gracious. NATO Safix. And there's no time. They have no kit. NATO finds the 4th. What the hell is that from the Danish Oper? Ladies and gents, this is crazy. Someone take this man to the front page of Reddit. This is monstrous performance from NATO Safix. Look at that. Lightning fast. Nothing that they could do. This is just crazy. This is just insane from NATO Safix. Oh my god. This guy deserves a front page in Reddit. There's the tactical timeout. Of course, after doing something like that, you usually vote a tactical just to be able to cool off. There is nothing to really say in a tactical matter, but you need to cool off. You need to make sure that NATO is calm. He is alright. He knows that he shouldn't be going to over-aggress. He shouldn't be going and giving the AWP for free. And look at the buy from the side of Sangal. This is just heartbreaking. Sangal, they did such a sick job at retaking. They played that in the best way possible. They got every single kill, despite of the last one, despite of the most important one. And the absence of a defuse kit, it just cost them. NATO, he's gonna continue what could possibly be the beginning of the end here for Sangal on Vertigo. And NATO Safix, I think he's just put the final nail in the coffin of Sangal here on Vertigo. And to be fair, so far, of course, if they lose this one, Sangal, because they're not out of it just yet, if they lose it here, they put up a pretty decent fight. I'm really impressed by Sangal, and the problem for Lyngby here is that if it wasn't for NATO Safix's clutches, if it wasn't for NATO's just monstrous performance, they could have easily lost that one. But still, Engine, fire back, goes for the first bird from Sky on the instant refract. NATO, he's gonna take down Immer as well, and Major and Logic, all that's left on the side of Sangal. So overall, pretty decent performance by Sangal as they are gonna go down here on Vertigo. Ladies and gents, Logic, the only man standing, and Rouse, he's gonna make sure to shut him down. 16-13, go Lyngby Vikings on Vertigo. NATO Safix with just a lifetime performance, but the scary part for Sangal is that NATO, this hasn't been his only map like that. This hasn't been his strongest map so far, and I'm really looking forward to see what these two teams are gonna show us on Dustrials. Ladies and gents, we're gonna be heading to a short break. Make sure to get something to drink or to eat, and we're gonna be right back after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gents, with the snow, sweet snow, as we're ready for map number 2 between the teams of Lyngby Vikings and Sangal. We can see Sangal starting on the T side. Of course, this is their map pick after Lyngby managing to secure the first map of Vertigo in what was anything but a pretty convincing fashion. Sangal putting up a hell of a fight on map number 1, but now we're on the home turf of the Turkish side. Now it's gonna get interesting, and Lyngby Vikings, they will start things off with a pretty nice retake to come. 5 versus 5. They make their way out of short. Rouse takes the head off Major to begin with, but still there is a flash for the T's. There is it. Now they're gonna just pop on the back of it, but NATO Sapphics will find one pass though with the refract engine with one as well. Rouse to follow up, and now the 2 versus 3 as Pasky will find the first. Rouse on the refract, and still they have a defuse kit, and Rouse, he's gonna go for it, and he's gonna try and stick it. There's the pick. Fakes it the first time, tabs the bomb for a second one, goes for the stick. There's the fight from Relax, and he's gonna protect his teammate good enough. That's gonna be a pistol round going in favor of the CTs, although of course, it was a messy one. The T's, they managed to do a lot of damage in this situation, but in the end, the first round goes in the way of Lyngby Vikings. As of course, Sangal, they're gonna go in for sub. With the Galil, the AK, and the 3 pistols. Looking forward to resetting the economy of Lyngby as fast as possible. The performance from the Turkish side on Vertigo was just phenomenal. So now on Dust 2, they'll be looking forward to winning their own map pick and taking us to a third, which of course, if needed, is going to be Inferno. I'm your caster, Ted, and of course, as always, we are ready for some pretty intense CSGO action here as NATO Sapphics. He is probably the player to be looking forward to spectating here on Dust 2, as well as Logic and Immor. Logic and Immor, they're just insane. Immor, especially on Dust 2. This guy is one of the best aimers out there. One of the best aimers, maybe just as raw aimers in the entire tournament. So he needs to step up and he needs to go huge for his team. For sure, a force to be reckoned with as Sangal, they just take on the slow approach here. 2 more short. There's the peak though. Fasher, he's gonna find the first and gonna fall back. That's perfect. One of the rifles down as Logic. He's gonna make sure to be quick to pick that one up. Man advantage in the way of Lyngby. There's the flashes. Sangal gonna explode towards that A-bomb side. Burr from Skydo still standing his ground towards Ram. Fasher will support him. There's the kills going in the way of the CTs, as now it's only left to Immor from the backstab, but he's gonna get taken down by Fasher. That's gonna be 2-0 in favor of Lyngby Vikings. Of course, the HUD is a bit glitched at the moment. I hope that we fix this one as soon as possible. It is 2-0 in favor of Lyngby Vikings. Hopefully everything gets fixed as soon as possible, but nonetheless, we begin with the Eco round from the side of Sangal. Only pistols, no armor, no grenades, just the 4 upgraded Desert Eagles from the aggressors in the first half of Dust 2. They make their way towards that B side where Relax, he's more than happy to take those 1v1s. Feels comfortable in his AK, and he gets himself a pretty nice quick triple kill. Looking for the 4th. Bomb has been dropped, and this should be pretty much a protocol round for the side of Sangal. For the side of Lyngby, I should say, as Major finally will find one, but NATO is there to make sure that Sangal don't get their hands onto the dropped AK, and for Engine, it's just a matter of not if he's gonna win the round, but a matter of how he's gonna lose it. If he takes down 1 or 2 players with him, that's just ideal. It should even be impossible as Burr from Sky is gonna take him down through the door. 3-0 in favor of Lyngby to start off. And That is pretty much perfect. Of course, if you ask the Danes, winning your map pick after having such a hard time could always mean that you're coming into the second one without so much confidence. But the thing is that the way that they won it, like the plays from NATO, surely it builds up confidence, but only for NATO Suffix. So his teammates, they need this extra boost here, extra mental boost. We're just starting off well on Dustin. So far, so good. Fasher, he will find the first Immer there to strike back onto Relax, as damage has been dealt to both sides. Lyngby, of course, more than happy to fall back and wait. Same goes for Sango as 1-for-1 trades. Of course, every time, always are favoring the P-side. And look at that headshot from Immer. That's exactly what we've been speaking about. Immer, he's so good on this too. He's just winning drills that he's not supposed to be winning. In NATO, he was fully blinded, but that was just an instant headshot, and Immer making his way towards ramp. Rouse, though, he's ready to strike. And that's the rotation from Sango, actually. They're not committing towards long. They're trying to capitalize on the full rotation from the side of the CTs, as now Logic, he's gonna stay here and try and hold the rotate towards B. Bird from Sky, really tough task. Manages to bait out the shot, does a lot of damage, Bird from Sky, but in the meantime, the bump will go down towards that B side as Lyngby, they're gonna try and play the retake. As you know, B side on Dust 2 is maybe the hardest one, the hardest side in the entire game to retake, and because of that, Lyngby, they just decide that they're happy with that. They're gonna go and save their weapons into round number 5 as the AWP will be saved, of course, to get dropped in the hands of NATO Suffix. He's been phenomenal on Vertigo yet to try and find that same impact on Dust, but the game has just started. The game has just started. We saw some pretty good things from Immer as well. Logic still needs to step up for his team. You know, Dust 2 is maybe one of the most dynamic, one of the most fast-paced maps in the entire map pool. So you need a good opener. A good opener on Dust 2, considering it has so many long-range fights, could win you the game. Could eventually win you the game. A lot of teams going for the double op as well, something that I'm looking forward to seeing from the side of the CTs, as we can see that Lyngby, they use it in the 5th. They use it in the 5th, the double op, one in NATO, one in Bird from Sky. This is exactly what they want to do here. As Immer is going to make his way out of long, continuing to run through the smoke. Immer, he wants to storm in that A-bomb side, and are they ready for him to be that close? Oh, Immer, that can be so dangerous. Making his way out of long, gets the first. There's the refract from Fasher, though, as he'll double up. Fasher! Oh my goodness gracious, Fasher, what a one-tap. That was, I thought that he got both kills there for a second, as he'll continue in Fasher with the ace to shut down the side of Sango. What an ace to find from the young Danish player. Look at that yet again. Immer, just the perfect entry to have, but Fasher from CT spawn, shutting down every single player. Look at that one tap. Look at that from Fasher. That was just phenomenal. Even finding the 4th here. Goes for the 5th. No problems. 5 kills, 4 headshots for Fasher, and well, if you're Sango at this point, what could you possibly do? As Fasher, he continues. Major, though, in the meantime, before falling to Fasher, he will find the first, but that was just brilliant. As Immer, oh my god, Immer. What a way to shut down NATO Suffix. But in the meantime, look at the aggression towards tunnels, and Relax has such a strong position. Oh, the timing is in his favor. They have no idea. Did they spot him? They didn't pass. He knows. He knows. Kills going in the way of Sango, and that's going to be their second round as Lyngby. They need to go and save, but this matchup so far, it has just been players from both teams being brilliant. They have just been absolutely phenomenal. That's disgusting from both sides. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know how to describe it. This is just amazing. As Lyngby Vikings still in the lead, but Sango to win their second. As Logic, he's gonna even shut down Bird from Sky, and that is quite the damage done, considering that that was the AWP and Fasher. He's gonna try and save it. Is he gonna be able to do so though? Well, yes he is. As Logic holding the defense of Ango. And Sango, they win their second. Lyngby Vikings 4-2 up. NATO going aggressive towards tunnels with the AWP. As Sango, they take a slower approach of this one. They don't want to go for an early long fight as they saw them doing in the previous ones, but NATO is going to capitalize on that. He's going to take down Logic. That's a pretty nice way to begin the round with. Of course, if you're Lyngby, as their money isn't looking that good, we can say the same about Sango, but look at that, they're just storming in towards short, and Bird from Sky, he has only the Tigo to work with, utility to try and slow them down. Bird from Sky is gonna deploy the smoke at this point. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Bird from Sky. Falls to the molly, and that's gonna open up the side for business. As Fasher, he's gonna get taken down by Engine. Beautiful headshot. And now the 3 versus 4. This might as well just be another save for the CTs, and indeed, it will be another save. As Lyngby, they're looking forward to rebuying yet again, coming into the next one. Of course, Sango starting to build up their momentum. It's something that we expected, considering it's their map pick, and being able to play the T side on Dust. Yeah, some teams might prefer the CT, but what it gives you the chance to dictate the pace on one of the most diverse maps there is. Like on Dust, you could go for the fast-paced plays all the time. We saw Sango fighting fast for long 2 or 3 rounds in a row. In the end, that just made Lyngby have strong long presence in the beginning of every round. Sango, they decide they want to go for a slow default, they go for a slow default. They decide they want to just explode, they explode. That's just the thing that the T side gives you, is the possibility to dictate the pace. It's the dynamic of the entire map. And this is just perfect. And Sango, they know exactly how to utilize that to perfection. But look at that. Late long take coming in from the CT's Ascension. He's gonna drop Fasher Ross with one, but Logic to follow. Man advantage again in favor of the T's. Make that a 2-man advantage as Bird from Sky will pick up the AWP from the body of NATO. Sapphix. Bird from Sky in a pretty tough position. Misses the initial shot. Goes for the repeat, wants to continue challenging. Bird from Sky. Logic is there though with the 3K, and this is exactly the impact that we need Logic to have here on Dust 2, that we want Logic to have. Because on Vertigo, it seemed like NATO Sapphix was getting the better of him. NATO Sapphix was the star opener. He was the one to shine, to make the difference for his team. But this time, it's Logic's home turf. Dust 2 is the favorite map of this opener. We can see that he's starting to show what kind of an impact he could have. As Relax, he's gonna try and save the AWP. Gets down to first, but Engine is there to follow up. There's gonna be 4 rounds apiece for Lyngby and Sango, as the CTs, they'll have to go just for the partial investment, the half buy. And potentially that's gonna be 5 rounds for Sango, as Imor, he's gonna start things off pretty good. Just through the smoke on middle, spamming with the AK, getting the headshot. Well, no problems for him, as this is just the B push for the side of Lyngby. And look at the position from Engine. He's gonna be in for a feast here. Let me tell you, in the moment that he hears those steps, he's gonna be the happiest man alive. There's no way that they check this. Oh, they have no idea. Look at that. He's just gonna wait for them to line up, and Engine is gonna take every single one. Perfect for him. Building up the economy, building up the confidence. Just a pretty satisfying way to get all 4. Lyngby going for their first tactical timeout, as of course, Again, maybe considering the double op setup, I really hope that they go for it. We saw that Lyngby are a pretty aggressive team. Speaking about the way that they decide to buy, every time they're really aggressive with their bank, with their money, going for forces all over the time, just prioritizing strong weaponry over utility, which is, it could cost you, but in the meantime, it does give you a slight moment of surprise. It does give you a slight advantage, but let's see. Of course, it is a two-bladed sword. It is a two-bladed sword, and for Lyngby Vikings, what do you do right now? Sangal, they're looking hot on their heels. They're on fire, and they're starting to feel like they are in the match here on Dust 2. Logic, ready for the aggression from Relax, and that's the perfect way to begin with. As Sangal, they're gonna explode towards that B side. Still though, two players, the rotations have come through, and Bird from Sky, he's gonna go down Rouse as well. Oh, that was not nice. The thing that Rouse saw before he died was just ugly. He just saw one player flying in front of him and just giving him an insta headshot. I'm not sure if the flying player gave him the headshot or the one that peeked below, but for sure that wasn't really nice for Rouse. Of course, Lyngby just going back and saving, and that's gonna be the 4-man staying alive for the side of Sanko. The perfect thing that you could want in a round like that, just shutting down the buy round of the CTs. In the meantime, keeping 4 players alive, which will allow you to build up that economy. And what is concerning about Lyngby is that Sango, they haven't been just winning rounds, they have been winning dominant rounds. They have been winning rounds where they keep 3-4 players alive, which allows them to have this economy that they have right now. Engine is on 15,000. There was 3 more players or 2 more players despite of Engine who were above 10,000 before buying. And this is just perfect for Sango, but on the other side, it's so worrying for Lyngby. There is no chance that Lyngby reset the economy of Sango from here to the end of the half. Every single round, the Turkish team is gonna have full buy with AKs, full utility, AWP, and they don't care. There is no way that they reset their economy, and this is a problem. Even considering that they're on a half buy now, yes, they made these ones work on Vertigo so many times, but are they gonna make them work here as well? NATO, he thinks so, as he will find the first. That's gonna be another AK scavenged as well for Fasher. And now it becomes dangerous because they have the man advantage. They have armors, pistols, AK in the hands of Fasher, as we already said, the fuse kit as well. And there's a little stack towards the B side, but let's see, how do Sangao approach this one? They know they're a man down, they know that they need an opening, but Lyngby, they're not giving them any opportunities to find one. Engine going for the late long take, but Lyngby, they're more than happy to let Sango have long because they have B, they have short, and this is it. In the moment that they hear the flashes going towards that long area, they just push up short. But Rouse, he's gonna have a player in front of him. Is he ready for Major? That's the question, because Major, he's gonna be playing late. Now the rotations from B will come through, but Rouse needs to win the fight against Major. He will peek into it, and oh my god, was that a quick one? Major taking down Rouse, but NATO is there to fire with the AWP. Fasher with the AK will take down Major. And now onto the 2 versus 4 we go, as Fasher, he needs to stay alive on side. Oh, on his own! Goes for the kill, takes the tag, not the frag, but Relax is there to support Logic in the meantime. He's gonna shut down NATO, but there's no time on the clock whatsoever. And Sango, they run out of options, they run out of time, and they give up the round to Lyngby. That is a perfect round to win if you're the Danish team in this scenario. And so far, Lyngby have shown that they're really good at doing damage in rounds like that. Just the half buys, the pistols, the armor, the hero AWP, NATO suffix, because every single half buy that they have won on the Vertigo, and now Hero does too, has had the AWP and NATO suffix. NATO just going for the opening, the quick peek, getting the man advantage, and then they just go back, play the timer, use their grenades, go on crossfires, and make it work. In the end, Sango, they don't seem to have an idea on how to answer that one. Lyngby will make They're 5th on the board, as they're looking forward to making it a closer half than what it should have been. Of course, both teams still have the money to rebuy. As we said, Sangal, they have a pretty strong economy at this point. It's gonna be really hard for the Danes to reset it, but let's see how they fare as quick middle control is established. There's the push towards short. They're gonna attempt the long split. Now, the dangerous part here is Rouse. Rouse just playing inside of the smoke. He's gonna have that slight advantage. Just part of the second mode. He's gonna hear all of this, but the engine is quick enough on the trigger. Now, Pasher, are they ready for him? Deploys the smoke, they're not. Gets the first, but Major huge drop NATO suffix in the meantime. Relax though. He's here from the rotation, gets down the first. Now the 2 versus 3. As the long player will fall as well. Relax going down, and now it's only left to Bird from Sky. Missing the initial shot, but still the bomb needs to cross him. Bird from Sky, he might have the opportunity. He's ready for Immor. Nice headshot. Bird from Sky into the 1 versus 2. Gets himself an AK. 2 players to find. Are they ready though? 1 towards ramp, 1 towards pit, towards upside. It's a perfect crossfire from the T's, but he's gonna have 2 1v1s. Bird from Sky takes down the first, knows exactly where the second is, but there's the AWP and Logic. He's not gonna miss anytime soon. 8 kills for him and 7 rounds for Sango, but oh my god, was that close? Was that a close one? Yet again, the force buy for Lyngby, the full investment, and Sango yet again trying to go for the long fight as Rouse. He's gonna shut down Immor, or rather pass, but Immor with 2 to fire back, and NATO, he needs to push up short. They need map control to work with. We can see the aggression towards tunnels coming in the same time. Man advantage for the D's as Sango, they decide to slow down, but the problem here, if they had a player, for example, in lower or holding middle, the slowing the pace down would be really nice for them. But at this point, Lyngby, they know exactly what's happening. They have a player that's inside T-spawn. And Bird from Sky, he needs to try and win time for the rotation now. He needs to try and win time and relax. He's gonna strike, gets down the first. He needs to be careful though. Deploys a flash, goes for the second, takes him down. And now it's only left to Major in the 1 versus 3. Finds the first, knows exactly where the rest are, and he's just gonna make his way towards CT, but always the fake is the fake. And does NATO buy it? Does NATO buy it? Major still up close, takes the fight. Brilliantly played by Major. 1 more to go. Major has the read, but relax. Will connect onto the headshot, and Lyngby, they make it 6. But in the meantime, they lose 4 players in the process, which might cost them. Now, they're not gonna have the AWP whatsoever. They're not gonna have a lot of util, and the guns aren't gonna be looking perfect. For the T's though, well, it's not gonna be the best of buys as well. But as I say that, their economy hasn't yet dwindled. So still 4 AKs, AWP, full grenades, pretty much ideal for Sango, as they will make their way fast towards lower tunnels. And again, this is the round that they made in round number 5 or 6, I think. Again, they will attempt the base split, but will it work this time? Last time it did work. Now 2 players from the side of Lyngby towards that B side to defend, and they're just fully blinded. This is perfect for Sango. Refrags come in, and this is just the complete and utter shutdown. Ascension, he's gonna continue. NATO suffix, all that's left with the scout. He's gonna find the first, but what could he possibly do in this situation? Well, I'll tell you what, he's gonna try and save. And for Sango, this is the second time that they attempt this biz split. Second time it works. Pretty much perfect for them. They knew that they hadn't tried this one in a long time. They did it only once. It worked. So they're like, okay, they know we're going for mid presence. They know we're going for long presence. Let's instead just go and quickly split towards B. We made them anxious enough of A. They're putting 3 players every single round towards long in the beginning. They're not risking in having an extra rotation towards B. Let's go and rush it. Just go for the split, refrag efficiently, Perfect stuff from Sangal as Lyngby. They're in a pretty tough position coming into round number 15. There's the tactical timeout from the Danes as they realize they're not going to have the best of buys coming into this one, but still, we've seen how dangerous they could be with the Pistols. We've seen how dangerous they could be on half buys when they don't have everything to work with. And at this point, I really believe that they can win rounds like that, and I'm pretty concerned about Sangal. I feel like Sangal have a better chance at winning a full buy from the side of Lyngby than winning a round like that. But of course, the big difference here is that the AWP is not in the hands of NATO Suffix, and well, Sangal, they decide to just establish control all over the map, just being sure that they hold every single position and angle that they could, deny any initial aggression from the side of Lyngby as Major. He might have a chance here to catch off Relax. Some damage done to Bird from Sky early on, as on minute 20 on the clock, Sangal, they're just gonna start regrouping. At this point, Engine spots Rouse, goes after him, goes for the chase, but doesn't want to re-aggress too much. Still the slow round coming in from Sangal. Rouse, he's gonna pick up the first headshot, and now this is dangerous. Now this is dangerous because there's two players. Rouse, he's just gonna be baiting for NATO Suffix. If they commit to this, Relax, he's gonna drop him a Rouse, finding one more, and now he goes down. But Major, there's no way that he's ready for NATO. And this round has just collapsed. Once again, Sangal being extremely cautious against the Pistols, fires back, and they just lose every single player. It's now only left to pass in the 1 versus 4, 20 seconds to work with. Well, even if he had the time, it would have been a pretty hard one. And Lyngby, they make it 7. Now, the worst part for Lyngby is that actually their CT side is better. Of course, according to statistics. According to statistics, their CT side is better than their T side on Dust. So this is something that Sangal could work with. Both teams actually did a pretty decent job though in their last matchups here on Dust 2. Lyngby losing to ends, but they lost in a 16-13 fashion, which of course means that it is only one half by loss that makes the difference, for example. So put in a pretty decent performance. On the other hand, Sangal winning in a pretty dominant fashion, 16-5 over Game of Legion. So both teams feeling pretty well on this map. Let's see who's gonna come on top. It is as close as possible as Lyngby. They go for the full B split. There's the smoke. There's the cross from NATO, but Imor is there to shut him down. Engine, Imor is just Imor all the way for the side of Sangal. A quick one, a fast one, an easy one. No problems for the side of Sangal. Not a single player going down. And look at that yet again. Just look at that. Oh my goodness. I want to see that from Immer's perspective. He goes for the 3K, but I want to see that shot from Immer's perspective. That was so impressive. Lyngby, of course, to no surprise, they decide to go for force. They prove to be a team that doesn't like going for ecos that much. Which of course means that if they could find any reason to force up, they're gonna do it. They're just ecoing if they must. Like, if it's 100% necessary to go for an eco, then they go for it. If they could force up, well, let's make it a force buy. And Lyngby, they're gonna group up towards that short area. That's gonna be the full execute. 4 smokes for the Ds, 3 flashes, so a pretty decent amount of utility. The absence of a molly could cost them, but Let's see how they fare as Logic. This HE could do a lot of damage, and indeed, it won, but the upfront position from Logic could be dangerous, although Lyngby, they seem like they're questioning themselves. They might decide to go back for the B-split at this point. And do they do it? Oh, they do. Bomb going back towards that B side, but Sangal, they're so defensive in their approach that they're open to both scenarios. They have no idea what will happen. 30 seconds as they deploy the smoke towards tunnels. That could be huge. There's a player dropping towards CT now. Sango know. They know they need to fight for middle. Immer gets the first engine as well. There's the flash. There they Stormin from tunnels to Simmer. He's still alive on side, but NATO, Suffix, and Rouse. What has Rouse done in CT? Takes down 2 players with the Deagle. And this has just collapses NATO, Suffix, putting the final nail in the coffin. What a headshot through the door. And Lyngby, once again, they managed to win the round with the pistols. Once again, they win a round with only Deagles and a scout in the hands of NATO. So I think they found the formula. In order to win a force buy, you just need all pistols and the sniper rifle in the hands of NATO. It doesn't really matter if it's a scout or an OP. He's gonna find the headshots if it's a scout. There's a fight towards middle. Immer getting a slight attack as Sango. They need to force up. Of course, when you lose a force, in most scenarios, you force back. If you win it, the other team forces back. And so on, so on, so on, until one manages to reset the economy of the other. Lyngby slowly taking control over long. Immer though, he is ready with the scout. It has been absolutely deadly on Dust 2, but there's the bait, and Immer, he's gonna fall to Rawls. The only gun different from a pistol going down here for the side of Sango. This is gonna be a nearly impossible one. Fasher takes down the first, but as I say that pass going through the smoke and taking the 3K. He shouldn't be allowed to do things like that, and now Fasher needs to stay alive for as long as possible. In fact, he's gonna make his way back. Oh, but he's gonna get taken down from Engine, and now Bird from Sky onto the 1 versus 1, and Engine somehow Sango are gonna win this one. No way. What a play from Paz that was. Look at that, just going through the smoke casually with the Desert Eagle. Look at that, 1, 2, and finish things off in a pretty just styling fashion. Gets the 1D on Tornado. Sango, they shut down the side of Lyngby, but in the process they lose 4 players. Of course, that will leave them on reset potential as well. And, well, that's not the way that you want things to go if you're Lyngby, but it was about time for Lyngby to lose a round like that as well. I mean, they've been winning these all the time. I think it's fair. It is fair. Sango need to win like 5 or 6 more of these to be equal with Lyngby. From Sky, wandering around middle. Now they're gonna make their way up short, as this is gonna be the split towards that A side. Rouse looking for an opener with the Desert Eagle towards long. Now gonna fall back and wait for his teammates to make contact, as he's read this perfectly, but is he ready for the flash? Oh, he is. That's a perfect denial from Rouse. Manages to take a little attack onto Major as the short play comes in. Relax. He's gonna take the head off pass. Now Major in a pretty difficult situation. Needs to take down at least 1. Somehow he's still alive. Rouse though will shut him down with the Deagle, as Logic will take care of NATO. 4 versus 3 man advantage in favor of the T's. Fasher will take down Engine. Immer with 1 to fight back. 2 versus 3. Health advantage in favor of the CTs, but man advantage for the T side. And as I say that, Relax, he's gonna attack down Logic. 2 versus 2. Defuse kit is available for Emperor with Logic. He's so heavily tagged, but that Emperor could be deadly. Logic goes for the fight. They tap the bomb. Bullets not connecting. And Emperor, he's gonna fall. Logic, no defuse kit, no HP, no time, no chance. Lyngby Vikings, they make it 9. And ladies and gents, well, we had something similar on Vertigo. We had just both teams forcing up one after the other, winning, just playing round for round, round for round, and look at that from Imor. Okay, just hello, see ya. Major, you continue with the Deagle. Major even finding the second, and this is just, oh, this is, oh my goodness. No way. What's happening? Like, both teams are so sick with the Desert Eagles today. Both teams doing so much damage with the pistols. Sangal shutting down completely Lyngby Vikings. And at this point, I think there is a tactical timeout needed for one of the two sides, if not for both. Losing so many rounds against the Eagles is so worrying, but what can you possibly do when there's just someone on the other side giving headshot after headshot after headshot? Just forcing one after the other. 11-9. Lyngby, this time is their turn. Let's see. Are Sangal gonna be able to finally reset the economy of Lyngby and free us from that forced by a roller coaster, or are we gonna witness yet another forced by a win? This time from the side of the Danes. Well, they're going for pretty much the same round as last time. 4 players towards short, 1 towards long. Of course, being crossed with the Desert Eagle to try and go for the back step. And let's see, do they manage to make it work this time? The difference, this time there's more rifles on the CT side. No MP9s, and the long range is going to be favoring them. Pass takes down the first. There's the flashes. There's the smokes. Pass will take down the second as Relax. Finally, he'll fire back, but Ross will fall in the meantime towards Lonkin. Despite of the bomb going down, this is going to be pretty much everything probably for the side of Lyngby. Sangal in the 4 versus 1 retake now. Fasher, he will find the first 3 more to go though. And he's just getting pinched. There's players towards every single position. Ascension, he is ready for the fall from Fasher. That's going to be 12 for Sangal. And finally, we see a reset. This time though, Lyngby are an aggressive team. We said that a couple of times. They're so aggressive in the way that they operate with their money. So, do they go for the force on the back of the bomb plant? This is the question. Lyngby aren't a team that likes to go for the ecos. There were many cases on Vertigo where just wanting to reset the economy of the opponents made them go for the force. But this time, okay, they're going to show some discipline. They're going to show discipline here on Dust 2. Just the eco. A couple of graded pistols, 2 smokes. Nothing too much, not even investing in armor. Just gonna try and make sure that they get the bomb down, but in the meantime, Immer gonna take down Fasher. NATO to fire back. That's not that bad. If Lyngby managed to take down 2 players from Sangal, that's pretty much perfect. And Engine, unless he goes on the 4K here, we might see a bomb plant actually come in. Engine gonna find the first, 3 more to go. Has the support of his teammate Engine. Gets 1 more. Engine with the 3rd pass to, of course, cover him. Getting rid of Relax, and that's going to be 13 on the board for Sangal as they need 3 more to take us to a 3rd. And Lyngby, they need 7 to close things out right here, right now on Dust 2. But at this point, I pretty much want to go to Inferno. I'm pretty interested to see what is gonna happen on Inferno, because both maps have been so close. Both maps have been just teams playing round for round, and every single time that someone has the edge is on the back of an individual brilliance. So that makes it so entertaining to watch. And Immer, he's gonna take down Rouse through the smoke, through the door with a headshot. But in the meantime, Lyngby, they've capitalized on the map control that they could. And look at that. They're just using the noise that's being made on the other side of the map. Trying to aggress towards middle. Kills going left and right here for both teams, as in the end, Sangal, they're gonna have the man advantage to work with. But Engine needs to go huge. Oh, both his teammates going towards that B side as well. This is perfectly read by Sangal. There is no way that they lose it. Logic is gonna take down Relax, and now NATO, well, he's had his moments on Vertigo, but he shouldn't have a chance here. And Immer is gonna take him down. 14 make it Sangal on the board, as Lyngby, yet again, their economy is just in shambles. Lyngby Vikings going for the force buy, understandably so. 2 AKs, Mac-10s, Desert Eagle, and NATO. He's going to be leading the charge with the Mac-10 Major, who shut him down as his team makes his way towards short. But there's the molly to deny the initial push, and for Logic, this is just going to be a feast at this point. Takes down the first, goes for the repeat, takes down the second. Logic continues. There's the third. Just give him the fourth at this point. Rouse gonna try and make his way back and out of there, but Immer is gonna deny 15-9. And Sangal, they want to take us to a third map. They want to take us to a third map so badly. They want to play Inferno. And, well, we said it before the start of the series. Inferno is actually the best way to end up a best of 3. A best of 3 that, by any means, has been anything but one-sided. On both maps, there were chances for Lyngby to win, there were chances for Sangal to win. On both maps. It hasn't been one-sided the slightest. Lyngby now making their way back from long. Of course, they have a pretty decent buy. Speaking about weapons, though, because if we're looking at the utility, well, it hurts for Lyngby. Even if they manage to make their way onto a site, even if they manage to get the initial kills, they have nothing to defend the site with. They have only 2 smokes and 2 flashes. Nothing to defend the site with. And this molly is just gonna cancel the play. They have 2 mollies. There's the second from Engine. This is just gonna be the meat grinder as Engine takes down 3, 2 of which with the Molotov. And now, Sangal, they're more than happy to play the retake. Even though the B side is really hard to retake, the grenades on the side of Lyngby are just not there. They're lacking utility. They have nothing to defend them with, which means that they need to go for upfront positions. They need to go for fights, and as Pass wins the duo against NATO, it's only left to Rouse in the 1 versus 3, and he's gonna need a miracle here. Finds the first. There's the delayed peek towards tunnels. Rouse, he will find the second, and now that has become really dangerous. Here's the third. Rouse, oh, he's just playing the angle, and Rouse with the 1 versus 3. What the hell is that? Logic taking his time, just holding towards window, and both his teammates dying from tunnel. That is huge from Rouse. The question is, isn't it a bit too late? But look at that. That was so good play by Sangal as well. Look at that. They delayed the push. They delayed the second peek from tunnels so that Rouse would think that there's only one coming in from tunnels. But he was aware. He was aware. Logic missing the initial shot, and he didn't even have a chance to shoot second time as Relax. He's gonna take down Immer. Man advantage early on in favor of Lyngby, and it might not be over just yet. But let's see. Lyngby, there is no room for mistakes. One mistake and we're going to a third map. Logic, he's gonna take down Rouse, and this isn't the low HP player. Relax, he's down to only 4. And they have this A side completely locked up. Major now needs to go huge. The AWP is in the hands of Relax. Is he gonna be ready? Oh, Major aggresses. Are they anticipating the peak? Major takes down 1, takes down 2. NATO to fire back. But now the 2 versus 3 is on as Bird from Sky makes his way through short. But NATO Sapphix, he's went towards middle, misses the initial shot, and this might as well be everything here. This one shot that he had, Bird from Sky. Going for the fight. Engine, he is ready. And NATO Sapphix, I know we've seen some miracles from him, but surely he doesn't stand a chance in this one. Goes for the peek, finds the first, plus the second. Missing the initial shots. Is the player towards CT, and NATO still in around 20 seconds to work with, but there's no one from behind. NATO Sapphix, that's gonna be a pretty hard one to win. Making his way towards sides, pulls the players towards short. He's gonna try and get the bomb down, goes for the fight. He's not ready for the push from Paz though, and that's gonna be a 16th on the board for Sangal. Ladies and gentlemen, Sangal Esports, they managed to take us to a third. After Lyngby won their map pick of Vertigo, Sangal here do the same on Dust. And, well, what better map to be the decider than Inferno? the home ground of one of the most emblematic games in the history of CSGO. We're gonna be right back after the break. Stay tuned.